Well, hello, and you are most welcome to the finale, the final little episode, the final video of the Army of Gmodism Trials Season 2, the best missile launcher imaginable episode. Today I will reveal to you the results, and the results themselves will also be finalized. As you may already know, we do tend to solve the final scoring using Battle Royale methods. So what we have done now is we have spawned in an entire brigade, basically, of deep water guard aircrafts. And we are now letting the contestants fight and see how much damage they all can deal in the set amount of time. Now, this is to make sure that the missile launcher is usable in a larger context. A lot of the time, a missile launcher is not fighting isolated, but it is fighting as part of a larger fleet. This is something we want to test. So we do have the scoring already set, but some of the contestants are pretty similar actually in terms of look how beautiful they parted up between three targets. Well, anyways, are pretty similar in terms of how they scored. So we're having this little session to basically see how much damage a missile launcher can deal in a context of many different opponents. I thought it made a lot of sense because, of course, we do want to make sure that the missile launcher we choose is a missile launcher that actually contributes a lot to the battle and preferably is able to take out aircrafts as fast as possible, and a good way of determining that is how much damage it's able to deal in a context of other fighting things. So here is where the placement of the missile launchers themselves could have been quite an important metric. Last out, we have all of the these are so beautiful. Last out, we have all of the flying squirrels too, and they of course will deal a lot. Will deal a lot of difficulty. How do we say that? They will contribute to a lot of difficulty for the contestants. Many of the contestants struggled quite a bit to deal with the flying squirrels in particular, so it is no surprise that they are remaining. And this last little part may indeed calculate the scores so that we can put some adjustment points to the collected scores, so that we can finally see which of them will be the best fighter. Now, we have decided on a little bit of a rule change. Namely so, what's probably is going to be best, we can already say right now, is the use of Lua missiles. But in a larger context, Lua missiles can cause some lag. So, aside the winning Lua missile contestant, I'm pretty sure you already know who it's most likely gonna be. And it's most likely, now I can't say this for sure because we haven't seen the results, like we haven't decided it yet. But it's most likely going to be TRK's missiles, since they did by far have the best time. But in any case, since Lua missiles in mass can cause a little bit of lag, we will choose the next best contestants that is not Lua missile based to also be a winner. And when it comes to the aesthetical part, we will also see two winners. Because I didn't really realize how much of a difference there can be with a designed missile launcher and its missile, and that the missile design itself is as much of a cool thing as the missile launcher. So some people put really much effort into the missile themselves, and some put really a lot of effort into the missile launcher. And we kind of want to make sure that both of that is rewarded. So the best looking missile launcher and the best looking missile will both be given the win for the aesthetical department. So there we have it, 4 winners, 2 aesthetical winners, 1 the best missile and 1 the best launcher, and 2 performance winner, the best Lua based missile and the best not Lua missile. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we should now present the scoring. We only have one unclear point, and that is between the second best non-Lua performance winner, and we'll go through that a little bit later. We'll need to do some final testing in this little video to decide who's going to be the second performance winner. But in any case, we're going to start out a little bit with reading out and checking the values. This is our Omicron, Matros First Class Omicron's Viper AAM. And this is a missile system, which is vertical launch, looking beautiful like that. And Omicron managed to kill the foes in all in 25 minutes, has a collective value of 174,000, which is on the lower end of the total damage dealt. The personal best is against the Lightning Hood's static, which the Viper AAM managed to kill in 1 minute and 24 seconds. So, very nice submission. I really liked the missile models here. I think they look super cool, for the record. When I saw them, I was very impressed. And I think it's this little detail with this little laser receiver thing, like an orb on an orb like this. I think this was a really good idea. We might have to use that in the future. And the round corners around the edges there. It was super nice looking. However, there are very many nice looking missile models and stuff like that. Yeah. We'll be going through here and saying that Omicron's design here is unfortunately not one of the performance winners or one of the aesthetical winners either, even though they were looking great, for the record. It's just the competition is, as you probably have seen, extreme. Well, we shall be moving on the list with Sophia. So, next out, we have, as said, Sophia, cadet in the Army of Gmodism, so thanks indeed for the monthly support as well. 33 minutes is the time to kill all of the enemies, which is unfortunately the highest here, and the total damage is 167,000. It's also on the lower end. Personal best, however, was against the Scarlet Dawn's Hellfire, where the Sky Martin system were able to kill the Hellfire in 55 seconds, and that is pretty good. That's one of the faster times the Hellfire was killed in this tournament. So it's really interesting that even though you can be on a performance lower end, you can almost have one of the records in killing a specific enemy. It is not a record, but it is one of the lowest we've seen. Anyways, they look pretty cool here, the missiles with the teal and pink color going out like that. And this is actually one of the Lua designs. So for those that says that Lua is always overpowered, it's not the case. It's how complex your code is, basically. They can be overpowered, but they can also not be. It depends. But in any case, I thought this color mix looked pretty nice in game, and it does fit the AoG colors, especially the teal one. Before we used a lot of pink in the channel art, but we mostly moved away from that. But it feels like a, I don't know if it is that, but it feels like a history throwback, like ordering of the colors we've used, maybe, I don't know, or it's just popular colors. But in any case, really cool to see that design. We are going to move on now to Flutter design. Oh, and I should say that Sophia's design is also not one of the aesthetical winners for launcher or missile. Moving on, we are going to Flutter Skyfire. The Skyfire is a pretty cool little system, as it when we have an enemy, it will pop out. Now I don't have any enemy here, but let's just shoot a few of them so you can see this missile, which also looks super cool. And as you can see, they are, however, pointy, which of course they have to be. So, Flutter did manage to kill all the enemies in 20 minutes, which is pretty average, where the personal best is kill the Lightning Hood's static in 54 seconds, which is pretty nice. What is nice here is also that the total damage dealt by the Skyfire system is to 225,000 damage, so it is a it's one of the higher end damage dealers in total. Also, it's laser pointer controlled, which is really nice because that, I've heard, is good for performance. And it pops out. It pops out. We'll just have to look at it pop out, right? Can you, like, please? Well, it needs to get close, right? Look at it pop out and fire all those missiles. This is definitely extra style points. That is such a cool little detail. So for the launcher, a lot of people did enjoy this, especially on YouTube. I think it was the second or third best rated launcher, but unfortunately neither the missile or the launcher is one of the aesthetical winners, but they do look pretty cool, and man, those popping out things, that's definitely extra style points. So anyways, big thanks to Matros 3rd Class Flutter for this system. It was a good contestant indeed. Moving on, we should be looking on Solid Pickle's design, which is the Skull Sam. Apparently I'm uneducated, but the Skull Sam is named after Skull, which is apparently betrayal or loud noise, and in Norse mythology, according to the Snorre Sturlason's version of the Edda, chases the sun riding her chariot across the sky. So it's a kind of wolf thing, right? Are they not cute? Well, the friend is basically called hate, so isn't that friendly? The Sam part of the name is, I believe, surface to air, if I don't misremember, and that's American missile naming, or I don't know if it's UN missile naming system, but anyways, a way to name missiles. And this missile looks kind of nice, you know. It looks really nice, actually. It looks so nice that the Skull Sam missile itself, well, not the missile launcher, mind you, but the missile itself, so many decos, it's so many decos. It's very beautiful. Matros 3rd Class, this is a winner. So Solid Pickle is the aesthetical winner of the missile design. As you may have imagined, it looks absolutely amazing. This thing is definitely the winner. In the Discord voting at the Army of Gmodism, this got the most amounts of votes. 19 votes for the Skull Sam. And YouTube voted 53% in favor of this missiles, out of 3 options, I think, out of 201 votes. So yeah, beautiful. missile. Also, I think the missile launcher is really cool. It looks amazing. The Skull SAM system in its entirety will be eternalized in the Army of Gmodism files, of course. It's going to be used at some point. And it is also it's also then made into a loading screen. And you can see it is pointy and nice, and you may wonder, if you didn't remember, why does it have to be pointy? Well, let me remind you. This man...
It is too round on the top, it needs to be pointy.
Will explain.
Round is not scary. Pointy is scary. This will put a smile on the faces of the enemy. They will think that it is a huge robot's dildo flying towards them.
And that's all that needs to be said, of course. Whatever the scientists say, we can disregard that. It's not important. Round is not scary. Pointy is scary. It's, you know, it makes a lot of sense. And here, my ladies and gentlemen, is the new loading screens. And in particular, the aesthetical missile winner, the Skull SAM by Solid Pickle. It is hidden right now, but when you're watching this video, or a little bit after perhaps, you'll be able to download the Army of Gmodism loading screens for free, of course, via this page here, link in description too. So you have some instructions too on how to install them and stuff like that. So yeah, the loading screens for free, of course, get them and pimp up your game. In terms of performance, well, then the Skull has managed to deal some pretty average damage in terms of total damage dealt, which is 200. And in terms of total time, well, it took 18 minutes to kill all the enemy, with the personal best, as the previous one, is killing the Lightning Hood's static, which proved to be the foe that most were able to kill the fastest. But anyways, let us move on then to the next one. So yeah, our Matros 3rd class Solid Pickle is not one of the performance winners either, as you may have imagined. Now, we should be moving on to Bub. This is Matros 3rd class, right? Matros 3rd class Bub's Kotabuki is the system called, with a total of 199 total dealt damage. The Bub managed to kill the enemies in 24 minutes. So pretty average results there, but the personal best is killing the flying squirrels, and that's very amazing. Bub managed to kill the flying squirrels with the Kotabuki with 57 seconds, within 57 seconds. That's pretty extreme. That is the record for killing the flying squirrel, the best flying squirrels killer of them all. And the name Kotabuki, well, we're moving back to some folklore. And the Kotabuki is, according to Japanese folklore, a chimera based of Chinese zodiac animals. Very cute. That was a joke. So yeah, the technical results aside killing squirrels is mediocre, but what isn't mediocre is the beautiful look of this system. Look at these beautiful little RPGs. I thought they were one of the best lookers on the missile side too. But the missile launcher, as you can probably tell, looks really, really good. It looks super cool. Wow. And this is our winner of the missile launcher department. This was seen by people to be the beautifulest missile launcher of them all. Namely so that in the missile launcher, the Kotabuki got 78% of the YouTube votes of 235 and 11 of the votes on the Army of Gmodism vote on Discord. I can actually show you the results here. Let's look at them a little bit better. Right, so here we have it. First we had the missiles, where I grouped them up 3 by 3. So we had the missile launchers here, and out of these, the TRK-20's RB5 was the best looking one, right? Next missile section were the, well, the winner, the ShieldCat. On the competition got 79% of the votes. Moving on to part 3, where we had, next 3, and moving on to the best of the best, basically, where you can see that 54% now, well, it changed since I looked last, but yeah, voted for the ShieldCat. But the Robot 5 here is a close-up contender, definitely. As for the missile launchers, we did the same thing again. With the first vote, the Kotabuki did a win. I messed up the order a little bit. Well, first we had these 3 systems, followed by these 3 systems, followed by these 3 systems. And thus in the ending vote, it looked like this. 79% here of 239 votes voted for the Kotabuki. But of course, I wrote down the results previously, and that's the numbers which I'm citing, which is valid since, you know, I can't care about people changing their votes a long time after the tournament has taken place. So yeah, you'll probably understand. Not that that's important, like changed 1% perhaps, but yeah. Anyways, back to those missiles later. Sauna for the Empire. No, wait a second, that's the wrong one. There we have the loading screen. Matros 3rd class Bub's Kotabuki anti-air system. I really like this loading screen. I think it looks great because the missile launcher looks fantastic. And well, that's of course part of the downloadable if you want to download some nice looking missile launcher. So yeah. Matros 3rd class Bub's missile launcher will of course also be eternalized in the files because being part of the aesthetical part is makes it, you know, official AoG. And well, we may pimp the missile loadout possibly a little bit if we can improve the results with it later. But anyways, either way, the Kotabuki is official AoG stuff now. Beautiful design. Next out, we will be moving on to GSN Ariib. And GSN Ariib does provide a frontal launcher like this, looking very ballistic, if I can say so. This is indeed also a good time to say big thanks to GSN Ariib, because this is a cadet in the Army of Gmodism, so thanks for your monthly support on this channel as well. This missile launcher looks really cool in the front, and so does the missiles, I think. I think they look pretty sharp. And GSN Ariib managed to kill all of the enemies within 16 minutes, which is the best so far that we have looked at. With a total damage of 226,000, the GS Needle, I think they're called, right? GS4 Needle is also the missile launcher system that has dealt the most damage of the ones we have looked at so far. Personal best was killing the lightning hood statics like a lot of others, but in 23 seconds. Did I mention that Solid Pickle's missile killed the static in 39 seconds? I think I missed that, which is also a really good result. But GSN Ariib killed them with 23 seconds, which is surprisingly not a record. 23 seconds? Are you kidding me? Why did we use the lightning hood static? It was too easy to kill, man. Well, either way, it looks very nice, and as for the missile launcher aesthetics, it got 4 points, which is a divided 3rd place in the missile launcher looks voting. So we should be then moving on to none other then yeah, we're gonna do the Kevin Peacekeeper. Matroos First Class Kevin's Peacekeeper is a very funny looking system because I've decided that this consists out of Army of Gmodism's final re-education plan for defect AI course. Well, in any case, I don't know. Maybe I just only think that's funny. But in any case, Matroos First Class Kevin's missiles is looking really, really cool. And as for the missile vote, it is the third best looking missile according to you all that voted. It looks amazing. I think it's very funny. It's like a miniature plane, you know. Especially it's like maybe hamster controlled. Who knows? I'm thinking it's a defect AI course. Enemy captured AI course, you know, constabulary re-education program. But in any case, Kevin managed to kill all the enemies within 15 minutes, which is pretty good. And with a total damage dealt of 235,000, well, that is actually that's actually second best in this little tournament in terms of the total damage dealt. 235,000 is the second best. Kevin managed to, with the Peacekeeper, managed to kill the static in 24 seconds. So that's close to GSN Ariib's 23 seconds, 24 seconds. Very quick kill of the static, but again, not a record. In any ways, the results 15 minutes is actually second best of killing all the enemies in 15 minutes. But no, it's third best. I'm sorry, it's third best. The total damage dealt, it's second best, but the time to kill is, well, third best. And here comes the problem, where we might have to test a little bit extra to find out the final second place performance winner. Yeah, we'll need to decide if that was luck or not. But anyways, very cool looking thing. And, well, Kevin misunderstood the instructions first, so we actually have a pack of missile models built by Kevin, which you can download for free as well, so that's pretty nice. We should be moving on to ShieldCat's design. Matroos third class ShieldCat's missile system. This is the Nix Ignis AAM anti-air missile system with the menacing black smoke. Pointy design looks very menacing indeed. This is definitely a really effective design. The total damage dealt is surprisingly not more than average, but the time of killing the enemies the challenge was about is within 11 minutes. And ShieldCat holds the record here for the personal best, which is killing the static, the lightning hood static, in 15 seconds. That's the best anyone has killed the lightning hood static. 15 seconds, that's extreme. ShieldCat holds so many records. Also, killing the fourth enemy, the Hake Squadron, in 1 minute and 5 seconds is also the record. The sixth enemy, the Pellegrin Squadron, in 55 seconds, which is a record. And killing the seventh enemy, the Hellfire, in 35 seconds, which is a record. ShieldCat's Nix Ignis, which is a very AoG name by the way, holds 4 records in killing enemies. And the personal best, as said, is the static in 15 seconds. That was really impressive. Really impressive. And by all likelihood, if it doesn't proven to be only luck, the Nix Ignis will most likely be the second performance winner. But we'll have to pitch ShieldCat's and Kevin's designs against each other because one has more total damage dealt and the other has faster time. Since we have some small differences there, we'll need to recheck that a little bit more carefully, since they're pretty close in stats here. And that makes us only have the definitive performance winner for the Lua allowed part missiles, of course, which is TRK-20's Robot 5, which is inspired from the Swedish missile army names here. Matrus 3rd class TRK, or Matrus 2nd class I should say, because we'll of course have to promote TRK-20 for winning the performance part here. Very, very, very cool. These are Lua missiles. They are very much coded. The code is absolutely extreme. I don't know if we should dare to even open up the code here. I think we should, perhaps. This code does absolutely not tell me anything. I only know that it's advanced, and I also know that TRK-20 sent some upgrades to the code to make it even better. The missile launcher, by the way, looks absolutely amazing. And as for the aesthetics of the missile, it was actually the second winner. A lot of people really liked the look here. And it was said too that the reason many liked it was also because it looked kind of realistic, like real missiles and stuff like that. As for the missile launcher, the RB-05, the Robot 5, was also together with the GS4 needle on a shared second place. And by the way, as for launcher, the second place for the launcher was actually the Skull Sam by Solid Pickle here. So that was the contender here. Anyways, TRK-20 managed to deal 289,000 total damage, which is absolutely a record. Managed to kill all the enemies within 7 minutes, and the TRK-20 was a bit unhappy with those results, surprisingly enough. TRK-20 has a personal best of killing the Lightning Hood static in, well, 25 seconds. Not a record, but really fast. The Robot 5 managed to kill most of the contestants within a pretty short, time frame. So it kind of performed well across the board. Now, the records held is the first enemy, the Duster Strike and Geiger combo, which it managed to kill in 1 minute and 45 seconds. The fifth enemy, the Gannet Squadron, it killed in 1 minute fair and square. And the seventh enemy, it managed to kill in 35 seconds, which is exactly as long time as ShieldCat. So the record for killing the Scarlet Dawn's Hellfire is actually divided between TRK-20 and ShieldCat. Well, extremely impressive, beautiful Lua code. This is definitely going to be used in the Army of Gmodism to deal with all sorts of air threats. With the Robot 5 Lua missile system, I think we can actually have viable aircrafts even if they're easy targets, since it will be able to deal a lot of damage and take out enemies from a distance pretty reliably. Very amazing, and congratulations to TRK-20 for the promotion, of course. As for the second performance winner, we'll have to check the Peacekeeper by Kevin with the Nix Ignis by ShieldCat, and I've zeroed their statistics, so we'll spawn in some new enemies and do some checks, which can actually be able to deal more damage here. So we are going to fill out the space here with a lot of enemies, like that, like that, like that. And I'm just going to collect data for a little bit here, so we can see which will be the best performer here. I'm just gonna make sure I am not controlling anything. Thank you. And get back into the combat here. Letting them do their things, making sure they are indeed defended here. We can check out the missiles here. By the way, we have active radar seeker, incendiary and EMP with a lot of fins and cool stuff, and we have a secondary here, small ones. We have a combo, and these have a short charged head and a remote guidance system, so it's a pretty interesting little setup. And it even sits on a turret to be able to flip the missiles towards the enemy, I believe. The Peacekeeper relies on a medium missile system with incendiary warheader and laser designator, and it has to face the enemy. So that is pretty interesting that it manages to do killing so well, considering that it has to, like, from the front like this, shoot out missiles and do some kills here. Well, we're going to leave them working here a little bit so that we can collect some stats. Both are, of course, really good performance and performers, and they both have their uses. Like having a directional laser pointer based missile can be really good in some circumstances where you have a thing that faces the enemy to really take them out when they come in like that in a nice way. A VLM system is pretty classic and easy to stick everywhere, so it's more all around. But from the Prometheum directive, I do know that having laser pointers can be good for certain times, since remote guidance and active radar seekers can be a little bit confused when you have large scale battles. So then a laser pointer is really reliable in that aspect. Right, so the test is almost finished. We just have a few enemies remaining here, so we'll be able to see in this side-by-side overwhelm testing to see which of them is able to output the most amount of damage, because we want to make sure that we give the right results, the winner points for the non-Lua missile winner to the right system here. So we just have like a few little missiles needing to be thrown out here to find the final results, as they do indeed calculate and tick up the materials destroyed. Looks like they are targeting some different enemies here, and look at that, we have that one going down, and the last enemy is soon to be dealt with here. Again, both systems have a pretty close statistics, and neither of them is Lua based, which makes them good for general gameplay where we try to minimize the lag a little bit. Alright, let us finally get rid of this squirrel so we can calculate the results. And there it seems to be going down right there. Alright, so let us see here with our zero-day results how much damage the Peacekeeper system were able to deal. The Peacekeeper were able to provide 87,000 damage in this little overwhelm test. 87,000. So, what is the Nyx Ignis capable of? 104,000 damage. All right, well, that definitely concludes it. Kevin's Peacekeeper showed a little bit higher material destroyed previously, but in our follow-up test we can confirm that ShieldCat's Nyx Ignis were able to deal more damage in a side-by-side test like this. And with a shorter time of completing the challenge of 11 minutes compared to the 15 minutes Kevin got, and also the holder of 4 records of killing enemies in the shortest amount of time, the performance winner for the non-Lua version of the missile goes to ShieldCat's Nyx Ignis, whom will also be promoted to Matros 2nd class. Congratulations! Now, I can't assume that everyone managed to look at the premiere of the video, so I will give out the promotions, the added roles, in a few days, so that, or like in 1 day or so, so that people are able to watch the video before. Also, the the links to the desktop background package for the performance winner will also be sent out at that time, so that I wouldn't spoil anyone by, you know, just surprising them by putting them in their inbox like a, you know, a thing, which made it so that they know that they are a winner without even watching the video, which I feel would be a little bit sad. So I'm just waiting a few days. If you're a winner, you will get those roles and, you know, rewards, of course. So what we need to look at now is, of course, Kevin misunderstood the challenge a little bit, sent a bunch of missile launchers and a bunch of beautiful looking missile models. The lore freak that I am had to, of course, write up names and lore for each and every of this missile model, which I have done, which is also now downloadable. So here I took out them and did assign them nice looking, well, I may have changed some color here and there to my preference and also fixed a name for them all, which makes sense, I think. And we also put together some of the suggestions that Kevin had as sample missile launchers. I fleshed them out and completed them into missile launchers, and that will of course be part of the updated AoG files. Whenever those are updated, they will be there. But yeah, we have like cool cluster missiles and yeah, all sorts of cool things. We can actually just spawn some enemies so that you can see them in action a little bit quickly. You'll see more of these, of course, as they are AoG. You can see them fly. They look pretty darn amazing, don't they? Like that. And especially, I wonder if this like system is online. Let's just fire it. This is a cluster missile. It was really hard to make this work because it's actually launched backwards. So I had to make a version of the models which is backwards. It wasn't that hard. I just had to be a bit smart. And then the cluster missiles release a lot of missiles afterwards that should hit the enemy. Now they aren't. They are like manually controlled now, so that's why they're weird. But I thought that was really cool. Good build. Beautiful design that Kevin put together. So thanks a lot for those missiles. And again, these are downloadable. Anyways, here you have this style board. Big thanks for putting this as the second most downloaded for some time. The style board, those of you who participated in the plane tournament for building a aesthetical plane, well, the submission days are closed. I'll go through them very soon, soon TM. Anyways, the style board has some Unicode, some decals, colors for the AoG and stuff, and the missile models adapted. So yeah, they are here. You can download all of these beautiful missile models if you want them. Well, you can go grab them. I think you should probably want them, of course. Yeah, we can look at the change notes here. I added here. So here we have like the missile decos, where they have like what they are. EMP, electronic carrier, and stuff like that. And some funny words too from Kevin here. Decopium, AoG style board in function here. Here we have an example where we have the missile shown here. So you can easily copy and paste. I've saved the names of them so that you can make prefabs and save them. And the prefab is inside a single block. Smart little trick there provided by Kevin, which we are using, of course, to save all the missiles. So I resaved my previous models too, so that they are in the pack here. And previous models, it's like this one. Anyways, they have their name here so you can read what they are about. The Tesla EMP, beautiful, beautiful, a lot of missile decos here. Well, and that is the style board, of course. But in the following days, I will, or days, a day, like 2 days or something like that, I'll give you to watch the video for yourself before I'll do stuff like that. But the performance winners, so basically TRK will get a best performance award. Second best performance is of course to ShieldCat. and third best performance is for Kevin, and you'll get the badges for this, of course. As for aestheticals, the aesthetical winners, the Solid Pickles, Missile, and Bub's Launcher, both of you will get the Design Award badge in Discord, and yours designs have already been made into official loading screens, which again is downloadable. Now, those of you who are performance winners, TRK20 and ShieldCat, I will send you a link to the Gmodism desktop wallpapers bundles very soon, where all of my wallpapers are present, which was the promised, well, reward for this little challenge. You know, it's something small, but I don't know, maybe it's fun with some price at least, you know. And this is the shop page, by the way. It's not updated at all. I'll need to update this and fix this a lot, but yeah. Some cool products that will not change are already here, like my favorite. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can be a member here as a government official. And of course, you can be, you know, supporting the channel in other places. About that, I will actually say big thanks to all of our supporters. Government Chancellor Super Dave, Admiral Dragon X62, Commanders Ben Wilkie and Delphin. Delphin we're building a monitor for right now in the Gimla upgrade series, if you haven't seen that. And of course our lieutenants, Ali, Anto, Cravey, Flowers, Dagan, Daniel Saikin, Owen, Pyrabagreed, Vincent Veritas, and new for today, Volkite, Lieutenant Rick Prell, and Scoob Rocks, and of course all our cadets. Big thanks to everyone who's supporting the channel, it helps a lot. And big thanks to all of you who submitted things to this little trial season 2. It was really fun to hold these little trials. It wasn't so complex like the previous trials, and I'll be going to the drawing board and seeing what new trials will do. Of course, before that, we'll conclude and look at the aesthetical plane challenge, which is the challenge right now. And of course, the Gimla challenge is already running, but our 32 contestants are already decided, so we'll just battle it out and see which is the best. I am building on a new battleship secretly, which our supporters may know, but in any case, big thanks to all of you who have been watching, liking the videos, and submitting, most importantly, submitting the beautiful designs in this challenge. I think it was very fun. I hope you did as well, and if you did, well, stay tuned for more challenges. I'll announce them at our Discord and of course on YouTube. And if you are scared of my Discord, that's understandable. I recently gotten a very cheap 90-day Nitro trial and I destroyed my profile. It looks really scary now. So yeah, never mind. Thanks a lot. This is your host, your Lord High Admiral, and I'm signing out. Best Gmodists participating in the trials. I'll see you in future challenges, videos, and in Discord. Thanks a lot.